my car, and it got all on Noah. So he had to change his clothes. So thank God I had another pair of clothes in the car. But Noah was just saying how he wanted a lot of things for Christmas. So let me tell you something. Christmas is not about receiving. If you ask me, Christmas is about giving. And I told him, I said, if anything, you need to thank God that he even may let you live to see that day. I told Noah, I said, I've been blessed to be able to work 2 jobs and provide for you the way that I can provide for you, because by the grace of God and the mercy of God. I told him, I said, I've been through a lot of things in life. There's a lot of things he doesn't understand about me. There's a lot of things he does not know about me. But as he gets older, the more he asks questions, the more I would tell him, depending on the situation or like where he is in life and things of that nature. But what's bad? Everything. So right now he's about to do taekwondo, then I'm about to go get his medicine. Just promise me you're gonna be careful. So I was gonna get him something to eat, but I was like, no, don't make no sense because we got taekwondo in 15 minutes. So I don't want that to be too heavy on his stomach. So I was like, I'm not gonna. I'll wait till he gets out so he can get something. But I told him, I was like, I'm a very firm believer in God, and by the grace and mercy of God, honestly, I've been able to do the things that I've been able to do for him, because I told him, I said, baby, an alarm clock does not wake you up. You know how many people wish they could go to the cemetery, turn an alarm clock on, and the person wakes up like, baby, it's just not happening. You know what I mean? So I tell him, cherish each day that you have, because somebody's child is not going to get this opportunity to wake up like you did, or have a parent that works 2 jobs that can provide for you, that will hustle as hard as she can for you, so as be grateful, but praise God into it, you know what I mean? Because I do what I do because I care, and I do what I do because God is able to let me do these things for my son. So Lord knows I'm thankful each day he lets me stretch, yawn, see another day. You know what I'm saying? Every day is a new day. Every day could be a blessing.
Oh man, no!
What's the matter, Shaniece?
She'll beat us. No! You will win.
He ain't even here yet.
Yeah!
No, he's loud behind in here yet.
Wait,
Get up! What?
sir.
Like, what do you want, sir? What do you want? Y'all not let me some, sir. My son said, I gotta change again. I'm in the park right here. Well, you can change when you get inside of there, sweetie pie. So then you can grab your blanket from the back, sweetheart. Oh, my. You're in. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna grab them for you. Give me, mommy, 1 second. Are you cold? Would you like me to turn the heat on, or you okay? That's when I'm gonna cut the crop, and then I'm gonna grab your clothes because I know that they're inside of the bag. Give me 1 second, okay? I gotta pull up some. You changing in the front or the back? When you changing the back? Oh, so come on. You gonna get in the back? So come this way and get in the back. Don't go that way and come on, because there's a truck coming. Be careful with that cup, please. Don't drop it. Go ahead. Sorry, baby. I didn't mean to. So that's why I tell my son, be grateful that your mom can do these things for you. You know what I mean? Because, listen, I would not have been able to do these things by myself. I made that very clear on a regular for him. Put the blanket over you, sweetie pie. She's not getting changed right now, y'all. Y'all see how the hot chocolate has fallen in my car? Look. I went to go pick the cup up so I could bring it with me, and the whole damn thing just spilled out. So that's that right there. So there goes my hot chocolate for the day. I don't have any. Kind of. Because I really wanted it. It's going to be like that sometimes. That's all right. See, the whole fucking thing spilled. I'm mad. Because I really wanted some hot chocolate this morning. You know when you really want something and then it just don't go the way you think it should go? Everybody usually expects their day to go good, but sometimes, well, I always say, just because one thing happened doesn't mean that has to ruin your whole day. Just well, I can always go home and make another one. Amor, hello. No, 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 no. You're good. You're fine. You're fine. You're good. You got your Crocs, honey, or no? You got your Crocs, baby, or no? So, ooh. Huh? What did you say? Hold on, y'all. No, my son has class here at 10. No, no, no. When his instructor come, I'm gonna leave though. I'm gonna move my car when he leaves though. Or I could just move right there, like to that, and I could move. So you could. You're welcome. You're welcome. Huh? I don't know if they're doing like construction or something over here, so I'm gonna move my car. He asked me, what's that? So I'm gonna let him park here. I'm gonna have to go back around and then come through here again, which I really don't want to do, but I hope nobody ain't coming this way. Cause this guy wanted to park his car where I was parked at. So no, that's cool. I'll just park over here, right here. I'm gonna need him to stay where he at though. You need me stay where you at, my love. No, don't. No, let me tell you something. First of all, that is a grown man, and let me tell you something. You are a child. Learn to stay in a child's place. I did this man a favor because he asked me to. Well, he was like, I guess they must be doing construction. So the gentleman just wanted to move there. Learn to stay in a child's place. No, you're not. What you're doing is being disrespectful. It has nothing to do with you. You are a child that is a grown man. Stop it. You have overstepped your boundaries way too much as a child. You are a child. So cut it out. You gotta understand something, Noah. I'm not gonna be sitting up here arguing with a grown man because you as a child, you know why somebody staring. People got eyes, they're gonna look. Not that serious. I'm not with the disrespect. Cut it out. My car was parked right there. One of the guys knocked on my car window and I jumped and I was like, ooh. So the gentleman was like, hey, are you about to leave? I was like, no, my son has class here. So when his instructor comes, I'm gonna leave. He was like, dang. He was like, to park there. I was like, no, it's cool. I was like, I'll just park in the other spot. There's another spot that's right here that's open. So I was like, yeah, I was like, I'll move for you. I guess they must be doing something. Right. So to make his job easier, of course, I'm going to move my car, so that way, he can do what they need to do over here. So my son, as I'm moving my car, he goes, what he said, so, he just wanted to park there. That's it. It's not a big damn deal. So then I'm coming around. So my son goes, oh, why he's saying that? It's like that. Why are you as a child having something to say about a grown man? That has nothing to do with you. You are a child. Stay in a child's place. I'm not going to be sitting up here telling my son he has the right to be disrespectful. We're not doing that over this way. When something has nothing to do with you and you are a child, you mind your entire business. It's simple as that. Ask you a question, and I'm gonna ask you in here. I don't care. When you with your father, do you do that? No, you don't. No, you don't, because I'm pretty sure your father don't allow that. Exactly. So you don't think that if your father don't approve of that, what makes you think I'm gonna approve of that? I'm not gonna approve of it either. And your father is a grown man. Now we may not get along, but Lord knows when he's right, I'm gonna give it to your father. He's right. all day. I stand 10 toes down behind him when your father is right. I'll back him up all day. So what does that mean? That means if your father tell you something and you wrong, I'm gonna stand with him and tell you, yes, no, you are wrong. Even though I don't care. I don't care. Me and your father don't never speak. But I'm gonna tell you something. When your father is right about something, I'm gonna stand behind him and let you know, yeah, your father is right. You were wrong. And when you're wrong, you're wrong. It be days like this, Lord knows. I wish I could call my son father and be like, get his ass. Like, just get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, put him in his place. You know, you his father. This is where I wish I could say, listen, get him. You know what I'm saying? Get your son. Get him. Get it. Because he's driving me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang. I don't care what nobody says. That's why I tell people, even if you and your child father do not get along, when they are right, they are right. You stand 10 toes behind them. You don't sit there and, oh my goodness, that's my child. No, let that man be a man to his son. Because I bet you if his father ever chastising him and he right, I bet you I'm going to sit there and say, quiet as I'm not going to say nothing. That's the man chastising his son. I'm gonna sit back and let him do it. But you won't catch him at this. Get him. Get him. Get him. Please get him. Get him for me too. Shoot, what the freak? Get it. Yo, get him. Listen, I don't care. I may not get along with my son father, but when this man is right, he is right. That is just, that's it. I'm not. When he right, I'm never gonna sit up here like, oh my goodness, don't be yelling at my son. Yeah, okay, I'll be a fool to sit up here and get mad because he chastising his son. I'm not gonna sit up there and take him being a father or a man away from his son. I don't care how much we don't get along. That's still your son. I bet you I'm gonna sit back and relax and say nothing because while he chastising him, that will teach him as he's getting older to know, I dang, my parents don't get along, but when it's something right, they both gonna go hard on me. So nah, so I'm gonna know, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? I was about to say, if they about to ask me to move, I'm gonna tell them this time no. Like this time, y'all gonna have to find a spot just like I did. A united front where there are no cracks for kids to divide. That part, that's what I'm saying. It is so much more better. It is so much more better. What am I speaking? It is so much better to take both y'all feelings out of it, right? Take take y'all feelings out of it. It is about your child. So dealing with your feelings, dealing with his feelings. It's about this seed that y'all both got to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want the streets to get them. Because if the streets get them, baby, prison, jail, or 6 feet under. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure that's not what parents want for their kids. I'm pretty sure that's not. At the end of the day, I don't care how much I do not get along with this man. When he is chastising his son and when he is right, I'm going to sit there and let him chastise his son. I'm not going to sit there and interfere with that. I will be a fool because if I interfere with that, then all the things that my son had will fall on me because I'm not letting this man be a man. Cut it out. I ain't so you had to freaking smell you're passing gas now. They just know. That's why I tell people it's not if you genuinely think about it, if y'all both are united, right, and y'all both stand on something, I'm not gonna lie, you may have more of a chance to be able to raise a child that that can become something in life, right? The heat is on. And again, like I always say, sometimes you do have a united front. Sometimes you do have that strong, stern family. And sometimes these streets get these kids and trying to reel them back in. Baby, that's where your faith got to step in now because sometimes you're like, damn, I know how I raised you. I know, me and your daddy didn't get along, but I know that when it came to you, I know we was, front and center. Like, what happened? And sometimes, even when you have that, sometimes these streets get these kids and that's it. They got them. It makes you feel like there's nothing you could do. At that part, baby, your faith got to step in. Because whatever happens after that, I tell parents, has nothing to do with you. Yes, it has something to do with you raising your child. I understand that. I don't give a damn if it's one household or two households. If you are a parent, if you are parents and you are doing your best to raise your child, and these streets get your child, don't worry, baby. sleep at night. You know what you did as a mother, as a father, as being united or being divided. You know what you did. Let their sins fall on their own. Sometimes the child gotta fall and get up on their face by themselves so they can understand. All right, you know what? This is what my mom was trying to tell me. This is what my dad was trying to tell me. This is what my grandma was trying to tell me. This is what my uncle was trying to tell me. This is what my aunt was trying to tell me. We can only speak till we blue in the face, and after that, baby, your sins are your own. They fall on me no more. Father God, protect my son, of course. But after that, I'm out. These streets get you. Something happened to you. I can't sit there and worry because I still got a life I gotta live. I still probably got other kids I gotta take care of. No. When I did my damn hardest, no, not doing it. I'm not gonna sit up here and worry. When I go to bed at night, my mind gonna be at peace. My heart is gonna be at rest. That's it. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. My blood pressure ain't getting rid of his light skin ass. Hell no. I'm not. That's why I tell people sometimes, even when you have that, these kids run amok, and you thinking to yourself like, "Nah, I know God damn well that's not how." That's why I be telling people, even with people being in relationships, right? How I hear a lot of people say, "Oh my goodness, your mother ain't raised you right." Let's be very clear. She probably did, but he want to do what he want to do, or a man will sit there and say, "Oh, your mother ain't raised you right. You ain't a lady." She probably did. But when you get older, you're gonna do what you want, why you want, how you. Your mama can't say nothing at that point no more. That becomes all your things fall on you. They no longer are mine. No. As long as I know I raised you right, no. Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. No. You ain't finna sit up here having me put my damn house off for nobody bell, or you want to sit here and run amok in the streets and my phone ring and I'm sitting up here worried about you. I bet you that you will ring. I'm not doing it. When I tell you, I am not doing it. My mind and my peace and my spirit will be at peace. That is it. That is it. I'm not doing it, yo. I'm not. Oh, thank you. I'm just not. Because it just means that at the end of the day, that's why I tell people, stop, respectfully speaking, stop having kids with somebody that you don't know. And I'm not even gonna like be disrespectful, but let's say if a man has kids with multiple women, right? You sit up there and you bash this woman, oh, she this and she that. But the same situation she in, now you in. Now you have an understanding of where this woman was coming from. Now you have an understanding of why she feels the way that she feels about him. But this whole time she was trying to warn your dumbass, not sitting up here trying to speak bad on you, but she's trying to tell you, yo, he's not good. Yo, I have a baby by him. Yo, he's not this, he's not that. She's not sitting up there trying to down what y'all doing. She's trying to warn you, stupid. But you so stuck up on him. You know what? Okay? You don't even see all the red flag that baby girl trying to tell you. Yo, sometimes if you sit back and you really think about it, sometimes a woman is not down and you. She's trying to warn you. But if y'all can sometimes take your feelings from out of it, and okay, maybe you open your eyes a little bit more, you will see. Damn, she's not trying to bash me. She was just trying to warn me. Yeah, it's too late now because you pregnant. And he on to the next one. And the whole oh she this and oh she that. Now you in the same situation she in. I see you. I'm looking right at you.
Ready?
Right there. Jesus. That's why I be telling people, listen, when women unite, and when women unite and they say, you know what, I'm not dealing with you because, I done seen how you are with your child's mother, or I see that, you disrespectful, anything of that nature. As soon as you see anything pertaining to this man being disrespectful to his kid's mother, yo, I'm out. Let me tell you something. If I'm dealing with somebody and they got a child and I see that they are not treating the mother of their child right, oh, you not gonna deal with me. For the same way you would treat her, eventually you're gonna treat me. I'm not dealing with none of that. That's crazy. That is just overly crazy. Huh? Oh, I just had to tell Noah off. That's all. I'm on live, sir. Don't start. Dang, don't start. Bye, get out. I love you. No, I'm not. love you very much,
I'm
though.
wearing the Crocs.
Y'all see his Garfield slippers? I mean, his Garfield socks. Show them your socks.
Oh,
Yeah, why
no.
you mean like that?
Fat.
No, don't do that. Garfield is cool. Garfield is a man.
He called me fat.
No, don't do that. Garfield is not fat.
He
That's
is.
a thought.
Like 1 second. No, 5 seconds.
No, goodbye. I love you. Dismiss yourself from our meeting, please. Bye. I love you.
Bye.
Now remember, what are you gonna do? You're gonna mind your what?
Bye.
You're gonna mind your what? There you go. Well, that's your responsibility. Now I do everything else. Give me kisses. I love you. Bye.
Bye.
I missed.
Bye.
I'm a smack her. Bye. I love you. Have a good class, honey. Oh Lord, there you go. I'm gonna go get this baby medicine. I just feel like at the end of the day, if you genuinely think about it, right? If these women sit up here and they really unite as mothers, right? Instead of bashing each other and downing each other, y'all can actually raise these kids with each other. Because and Lord knows, I genuinely believe, right? It takes a village to raise a child. If I'm sitting up here and if I have a child and if another woman has a child and my child father leaves, and if I see that this woman is struggling and or if she needs help, I would offer, yo, what do you need? Because at the end of the day, that's still my son's sibling. So I don't want y'all to sit there and struggle because he left. I didn't been there, done that. I didn't been in that situation where I had to borrow money because I didn't have nothing. Like I didn't have money for milk for my son. I remember I asked my son father, I was like, hey, we used to get paid on a Thursday. It was a Wednesday. I said, hey, I never forget this. I said, I have no money for milk. I said, can you please can you please buy him a gallon of milk and I will pay you back the next day. I never forget it. Never forget it. And he said, oh, that's your fault that you don't have milk. I never forget this, right? Never forget it. And I was like, okay. So my sister had to borrow money, I think, from one of her friends to get the milk. And who do I see inside of the grocery store, kiki he ha ha talking to people? And I'm saying to myself, I know that it's not him when I just asked him, can he buy a gallon of milk? And he in here talking to people. I felt so low because I didn't have milk. Because I wanted to make sure that I had, diapers and wipes and baby clothes and bibs and all that other stuff, for my son. So I felt lower than low. Honest to God, I felt lower. And I used to cry about this. I used to cry about it because it really used to bother my spirit. Now, I'm going to do a Chris Brown. Look at me now. You know what I'm saying? So, now my son has more than enough that I've been blessed to be able to do. Okay. And so it's never me downing him, but it's just like, I know that feeling, right? I know that feeling of being told, no, hi. I know that feeling of being told no, right? I would never forget. I was pregnant with my son and he said, you figure it out. Never forget it. And I figured it out. I don't got a balance of everything. We know that. I don't have a balance of everything, but we know I was able to figure it out, as best as I can. Oh, thank you. As much as I can, I try to figure it out. I make sure bother this man, y'all. I don't text this man, y'all. I don't call this man, y'all. I don't do none of that. I do not bother. I don't interfere. But if he wants my son, I always say you are more than willing to our son. You are more than willing to have him. You can take him with you, and be a dad, because the things that he did to me have nothing to do with my son. You know what I'm saying? So I will never hold that against him because I always say, God bless me, look at me now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that I had to go through that because it made me become the hustler that I am. It made me want to work the way that I want to work. It made me want to get the 2 jobs. So, and it's funny because even before him, I was working 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? So it was never like an issue. You know what I mean? So I was always working 2 jobs. I'm always the girl with a job. Okay, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna flip it somewhere or the other, but I'm gonna flip it to become positive. So how's somebody gonna say talk too much. But you on my page. Get off my page. Then you ask me where am I from? I'm from Norwalk, okay? Then you want to say talk to me, then talk too much. That sounds crazy. Like I'm not supposed to be quiet on my page, my love. God bless you all day. You know what I'm saying? Like what? You know, no shame, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling my story. So that's why certain things now I can laugh at it. You know, certain things now I can be like, yo, I don't even care. You know what I mean? But it just sometimes it made me go back to like that, right? But I would never keep his son from him. I would never do that, right? Never. Oh, thank you. I would never do that because at the end of the day, that's still a little boy that has to become a man. And just from me being getting my feelings like, you can't get my son because everything you did to me. That has nothing to do with my son getting older. That has nothing to do with my son needing his father. That has nothing to do with none of those things. I'm not gonna take that from him. Yeah, these are the things you did to me. Cool, whatever, right? Now you're blessed and you're happy and you're humble and you want someone, and I wish you guys nothing but blessings and nothing but happiness. Good morning, right? So at the end of the day, look at me now. I don't have to bother you. I don't have to ask you for anything. I don't have to come to you. I don't talk to you. I don't. I'm never around you. I'm never in the same area as you are. So it's a blessing, right? And you can still get him whenever you want. That's a blessing. When you have a child's mother, don't bother you, don't call you, don't do none of those things, and she's raising your child, and you can get him whenever you want, as long as they don't interfere with school, extracurricular activities, or taekwondo. Then take him. You got him for the whole week. You want him? I'll pack the damn bag for you. And that, mind you, I always say, right? To do that, I could pick up more hours on my job. So my mind is hustler, hustler, hustler. Like, girl, you got to get this money, honey. Okay, because you got bills, you got roof over his head, food on the table, clothes on his back, Christmas is coming up, my birthday coming, you know what I'm saying? So I want to celebrate these things the way I want to celebrate them. Well, today I'm actually going to take pumpkin picking. So I'm really excited. So really, really, really excited. I don't know if my mom is, but I'm going to go find out. Hold on, what somebody put? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going pumpkin. I'm gonna see if we can go pumpkin picking today. I'm hoping. Do they still do? And I asked the lady in the bank that I was like, "Do they still do pumpkin picking the day after?" And she was like, "I think so." I don't know. I think they do. I don't know if they do. I need to be like Google. I need to be like, "Hey Google, do they still do pumpkin?" Because I never. I know last year I couldn't take him. I took him twice before that, and he wants to do it. So I was like, "Okay, cool. Like we can do pumpkin." Oh, the lip gloss. Oh, baby, it's right here on deck. It's right here on deck. But yeah, I personally don't hold my son's father's negative things he's done to me against him for our son. I'm not gonna do that. Because that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. That's why I be telling people, listen, if you don't like your child father, you a damn fool. Because at the end of the day, if you want to break and this man can take your kids and you can have a break, you better learn to get along with his ass so you can have a break. That part. So stop your ego in the past interfere with y'all being man. I'm not doing it. Oh, you want to for a month? Take his ass. I bet you I work like a dog. And I have lip mask today. It's mango. This smells so good. I ain't gonna hold you. That's what I tell people. Good morning. When you get with somebody, right? And I'm not speaking on my child's father. I'm speaking overall in general. It is important to get to know. Now you can't take my baby 24/7 now because then we gotta fight. We gotta fight. Like I need my baby. You wanna like split it. I always say if schedule works best for y'all too, let it work for y'all too. But my thing is this, right? I always feel that sometimes the parents can't even pick up the child because they both got to work. So I think that's where you both should have someone that you both trust and that you both know and that are comfortable with picking up your child. Again, my big thing is communication. If I'm communicating with you, hey, I can't do it, you can't do it. So can Susie do it? Oh yeah, I'm cool with Susie. Susie's fine. And again, you have to be careful with who you have your kids around, because at the end of the day, sometimes people are crazy and they have intentions of trying to hurt your child. And then I gotta step back into my Norwalk days, and baby, we're not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? I could never hurt nobody's child. He's almost some. There she goes. There she goes. Yes, JCon. Yes, because these must be my babes. Ooh, dry cell. I don't like that. I don't like the lip. I'm not too big on the lip oils either. I like if that's why I always say, you know, I'm not mad at my son's father, right? I'm mad at him. This man feels what he feels. He has the right to feel the way he. And I genuinely tell this man, you feel the way you feel. You have every right to feel how you feel. I don't knock how you feel. I don't knock that at all, right? I don't, right? My thing is this: Noah is not. I don't want to hear about the past anymore. I'm pretty sure you don't want to hear about it no more. We both don't want to hear about it anymore. You moved on. I haven't moved on because I don't have anybody just yet because of my schedule, and that's fine. But my thing is Noah getting older, so Noah's not gonna need me to speak for him, too much longer. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, good morning. So, you want your son, you can have them. Not forever, because no, I yeah, mom. Yes. Mhm. No, I do not. I'm not home. Taekwondo. Well, what time are you leaving? Because Noah wanted to come there so he could ride his bike. All right, that's fine. Cause he wanna ride his bike. So I'm like, but we gotta ask grandma first. All right, bye, mom. You know what I'm gonna do today, y'all? I'm gonna take Noah off. We're just gonna have a conversation. This is weird, right? Because Saturday mornings, I like to call it Mommy Sunday. So I usually like to take him out for breakfast and kind of, just get a little bit of, how he feels about things, and like how, his life is, and how school is, how he's mentally, spiritually, emotionally, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's important to have that type of communication with my son, because I want him to know that, there are some things he's a little bit uncomfortable talking to me about, like with girls and things like that. But I understand I'm a mommy, so I get it. But and it's funny because I was just telling my son. So let me say something. Something I always want you to do is respect the woman that does not want you. Okay, I said, because rejection is fine. I said, learn how to take rejection. A woman may not want you the way that you want her. I said, but never down her, never disrespect her, and never degrade her. That's because at the end of the day, that's still somebody's daughter. And I said, so always think, if you were in her shoes, how would you feel emotionally if someone were saying, really negative things about you and or on you? That's how I am, right? I always tell him, reflect, always think, and always think before you speak. So I'm not teaching my son to go out here and just be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. I just want him to be great. I want him to be an honest, hardworking, God fearing, faithful man. That's and loyal man. That's what I want. I want that for my son, and I do. But again, I can teach him these things. But as he gets older, he may not go into that. He can be like, well, I know this is what my mom told me, but I don't want to do that. I want to do this, this, and that. And I always tell my son, don't you ever put your hands on a woman, ever. I said, if a woman ever puts her hands on you, yeah, you could press charges. And I think it's so weird how I find a lot of men don't press charges on women when they put their hands on them. They're like, oh, just a little stop is that, because then she's going to think that that's okay. The same way, and I'm not being funny or disrespectful, but I always feel like the same thing that goes for a man, it should go for a woman. Absolutely. 100% should. 100% it should. And then you have some men, like I told y'all, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Hold on. And guess what he gonna do? He gonna hit your ass right back, okay? And listen, if you smack him, he might smack your ass back. You punch him, he might punch your ass right back. Now, I always say, a woman should always keep her hands to herself. If you can't have a conversation with me about how you feel, and if you think you about to put your hands on me, now I will tell a man, if you can see a woman is about to hit you, and you restrain her, or you grab her hands and you try to like pin her down, because you don't want her biting you, scratching you, or spitting on you, or something like that, I can understand that, because don't nobody want somebody to put their hands on them. So I get it. You know what I mean? I definitely do get it. That's why I always try to tell my son, remember how my son said that the young lady was funny? I said, I like how you are looking at more than just her face. And yes, I'm telling him these things at an early age, because the earlier the better. That's pretty much how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? That's not really bothering me. Oh! So it just seemed whack to us to actually call the police and press charges on her. Why? But if she would have been in that situation, she would call them in the quickness on you. That's the problem. Y'all don't want to hold women accountable for things that they do because, oh my goodness, she said it's whack, or my homie was like, nah, I shouldn't do that. No, you should. Yes, you should. You should do it. Because if the tables were turned, she will call them on your ass in the quickness. Okay? Then who you gonna be calling to get you up? Ma, I'm locked up because I put my hands on her and she pressed charges. Okay. So the same thing should. God damn it. Y'all gonna start holding these women accountable. Cut it out. Why some women do what they do, because there's no consequence for them. That's true, but most women don't actually press charges either. Oh no, some do. Some do. Some will actually go through with it just to make sure that you hurt. I don't get, right? I personally don't get where the joke is, right? Let's say if you had to be to work that day and now you can't go to work and now you don't lost your job. Where's the joke at? Right? And let's say if you was waiting for this particular paycheck because you had to get something for your child or you had to pay a bill. Where's the joke at? Now you sitting in the cell, gotta wait to get bonded out, fingerprinted, and all these things. Where's the joke at? Where's the joke at? I don't see what the joke is, because now you can't provide for your child. Now your child mother is on your neck. Now you talking about child support. Now you sitting up there scared as shaking in your damn boots, trying to find another job. Where's the joke at? But me, I'm against putting my hands on women, so I'll never be in that situation. No. I didn't say you putting. I said her putting her hands on you. That's what I said. If a woman puts her hands on a man, yes, a man should press charges. These women gonna keep doing what they want to do. These women gonna just keep sitting up here doing whatever they want to do, because they're gonna know, oh, a man not gonna do nothing about it. Or if you sit up here and you have a sister, and then you have your sister fight her, and then she get her ass whooped. Now she gonna call the cops on your sister. Now your sister sitting in the cell because y'all couldn't be two grown people. I'm not gonna sit up here and get in nobody mess. I'm not doing that. Y'all are two grown adults. If y'all can't have a conversation with each other, don't call me. Don't text me. Don't FaceTime me. Don't email me. Don't knock on my door. Don't knock on my window. Don't step on my shoes, because the answer is no. That's your. You handle your. And either you want to deal with this craziness or you want to get out of it. I bet you I won't be that mother. I'm not. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not. No. This is ridiculous, and this is exactly why these women are gonna keep doing what they want to do, because sit up there and make them have no type of consequence. That's crazy. A woman will call the cops on the man so quick, so quick. Because first of all, she hit him. What type of bullshit is that? Or you have it to where a woman will have, I've seen a few times on YouTube, right, where a woman has beat herself up and will say that a man did it. What type of, oh, you're crazy. Like, you're a psycho. Seriously. Because that's, you gonna sit there and really beat yourself up? Who does that? Like, that's crazy. Or you want to sit there and put yourself down some stairs. You type, what the, and then say he did it. What? That's that crazy cycle. And some men like women like that. They do. Some women love that crazy like some men and some women, they love that crazy. And I've noticed that a lot of women, I'm not say a lot, but I think a good majority of women like an aggressive man, right? I wouldn't want my man to be too aggressive, but if, well, I mean, he could be aggressive in the bedroom, but that's another little story. But other than that, I don't want the sense of control and all of that. I don't want all that. I think we are hardwired to want to protect women. No, that's well, you know, and so in a weird, twisted way, we don't want to. Well, that's on y'all. Y'all keep getting your ass whooped by women, and that's all on y'all. If you think about it, yeah, a man is you guys are basically wired to protect the woman. Then, well, let me not. I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm gonna shut up. Because I was gonna say, right? I would think of a man as a protector. I would, right? I would. But and it's so funny because this dude that I knew, he carried on him, right? He had what the hell you call it? Permit to carry, right? And this man actually put me in harm's way twice, and he didn't know it. And I'm not being disrespectful. I don't want to come off as an asshole, but I can say, to me, and I'm just gonna say to me, it seems as if this man has never had to either protect a woman, or he's never had to go toe to toe with a man the way I've had to go toe to toe with a man. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you've had to actually go up against a man in a physical manner, you look at things different. Like, if you walk into a room, you're more in a protective side. You're more on let me not, right? Just like the dude that I was in with for 6 years, I told you, a lot of these things made me go back to him. He put me in harm's way because I'm in an establishment where there's men in here, right? These men are gonna ride for you because they know you. They're not gonna ride for me. You understand what I'm saying? So they're gonna look at me as I'm the bad person. So they're gonna protect you because they know you. But I'm standing here and I'm a woman and I'm standing by myself. So to me, you put me in harm's way because I don't know how these men are gonna respond to me. And I'm a woman. You understand what I'm saying? So I just thought that, and again, it made me think like, yo, you never had to go up against a man the way I had, because if you have, your mindset would not be this. You would not have done this. You would have moved a lot different. So I definitely do feel that he put me in harm's way twice. Actually, twice. And I didn't like it. And I told him the first time he did it, I said, listen, you put me in an awkward situation. I said, because I never forget it, they were playing music. And it was music, and the music had cussing in it. And I was like, hey, it's kids here, why is that type of music being played? I think I told you this a while back. And he looked at me, and I was like, well, I didn't think I said anything wrong due to the situation of, as kids are here. I think that when kids are around or elders are around, certain music should just get stopped, or certain conversations should just get stopped. Just out of all due respect. That's how I looked at it. So he asked the gentleman beside him, oh, she wants to know why you're playing music that has cussing in it. Instantly I got defensive, because again, I don't know this gentleman you're speaking to. So what if he come up to me cussing and screaming in my face and trying to hit me because of what you say? You get what I'm saying? So my mindset was, yo, you put me in harm's way because that's not cool, that you did that. You could have just been like, yo, hey, can you change the music? I mean, maybe it's just me, but I looked at it as, you put me on harm's way with that, because what would happen if this man would have responded in a disrespectful manner because of something that you said? I'm not, certain things to me, I get defensive. And I just thought it was, this is why I'm gonna use the word you said. I thought it was whack because I'm like, now what if this man would have got mad and started cussing me out? You know what I'm saying? Over something I felt I wasn't wrong about. I do feel that if children are around or if elderly people are around, again, I don't know how people are raised, right? But I was raised, certain conversations need to come to a stop, and certain music just shouldn't get played. You should wait until the kids are gone or until the elderly people are gone, and then y'all could, oh, mother this or son of that, then you could, do that. And I understand. You can't tell people what to do in the establishment. I get that. But it's just a sense of, I'm walking in here, let me get the vibe, let me get the aura. I see that it's not respectful because, you play music like that. You got people, mothers in there, fathers in there, you got kids in there. So it's like, yo, that's not, I'm not with that. That's just me. That's literally just me. I'm like, yo, this not for me. This not for me. I'm not cool with this. I would have just said that is inappropriate for kids, but something different. I mean, I felt like he could have just asked the other gentleman, yo, can you change the music? I mean, that was hard to say. I mean, damn. I don't think that was hard to say. I feel like I can't see. I don't know why. I feel like I can't see me. I'm like, I can't see me. But I just was like, okay. And then when he had asked the dude before, same dude, second time he put me in harm's way. When that situation had happened, when he asked the gentleman standing beside him, oh, you messing with her? I was like, what the f? I was like, and mind you, this is the same dude that he asked about the music. So I'm like, damn, this man finna cuss me out because you over here putting something else on him. I'm like, god damn. Like, this man gonna start cussing me out because he gonna get tired of you accusing him of something. God damn. And you keep, it is just with me. Could you stop, please? Jesus. So it's like, I don't respect that. I don't respect nothing like that. I just don't. I do not. I really can't see me. Am I tripping? Hi, Eric. Good morning. Good morning. So, it's just, it made me think in a manner of he's either never had to protect the woman or he's never had to go up against the man the way I've had to go up against the man. Because, again, I feel that if you have that mindset or if you actually had to go up against the man the way that I've had, you would have moved different. You would have moved a lot different. You wouldn't move so soft in a manner, not being disrespectful, but you wouldn't have moved that soft. You would have never accused me of dealing with this man, and you would have never been like, oh, she wants to know. I mean, am I wrong? Nah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I know I'm not tripping. It's like, okay, yeah, you know where I'm from, sweetheart. I'm sorry. But you not, you just not. But it's cool, you know what I'm saying? Because that's who he is and this is who I am, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a valid point of good morning. So it's just a valid point of, yeah, you just, respectfully speaking, yeah, no. That's all. That's all it is. It's never no disrespect, but again, when you peep, when you peep things and when you notice something, you call it out. And then he didn't like this, and I never forget it. I was having a conversation with him about it. I said, listen, first incident with the music happened, I told him, I said, listen, I didn't respect the simple fact that you blasted that out to him. I said, because again, what if he would have moved in a disrespectful manner? Verbally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, whatever the case may be. Like, he could have started spazzing on me and told me, he could have like, oh, well, you get the F out then. But he didn't do none of that. Let me be very clear. He did not. He didn't do none of those things that he didn't. He looked at me. He looked at me and I was like, and I looked back at him, you know what I'm saying? But right? And he changed it. And it's so funny because I happened to see the dude. And he was like, oh, hey. I was like, oh, it's you. Right? So I had a conversation with him about it. Again, and it's so funny how I always end up seeing people that this man always accusing me of doing something. I always seem to see them. That's the funny part, right? So I seen him and I had a conversation with him about it. This man goes, oh, I don't remember that. I was like, I said, yep, you're a man. I said, I'm just going to walk away. Have a good day. But other than that, it's always been like, even after that, it's been, oh, hey, how you doing? What up? All right. You know what I'm saying? It's just been that type of, oh, all right, hi, hello, that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's literally just been that. I can't see. Like, am I bugging, y'all? Why you poke your butt out like that on your shit? I poked my butt out when? When did I poke my butt out? Oh, in my dress, because that dress made me have a big butt. I love that dress. It's so funny because I low-key can't stand that dress because it's too long. But I think that dress is beautiful. And I love the little over the shoulder. I thought it was cute. Well, good morning. Nice. Hello. Hi. That's like calling your grandma saying, my mama said, can I spend a night, instead of saying, can I spend a night? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't got to ask permission. Like, no. You know what I mean? So it's literally just that type of energy and that type of vibe. But other than that, I'm like, yo, I'm cool. And I told y'all, it's so funny because a lot of the times it always makes me, he said he liked it. It always makes me go back to him. I don't know why, but a lot of, I'm like, damn, this made me think of him. And it did. I was like, oh my goodness, Lord Jesus. But it just made me think of that in a sense of nature. And it brings me back to say where you say, men are hardwired to protect women. And it's funny because I'm like, yeah, no. Not every man, right? Because I just feel like that man want to move like that. If he was hardwired to protect the woman. And I'm not saying he's not. What I'm saying is it's probably just me. He probably just, it was probably just me. That's all it is. Yeah, he was. Like, and it's no, like, I promise you, and I'm not talking bad about him, but it showed. Like, what the, yo, it showed. And it's crazy because it's so weird how I can see this man engaging in a conversation with a woman, and I've never felt insecure. I've never felt disrespected. I've never felt being disrespectful. Yo, I would just sit there and be cool. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody didn't need to know what me and you was doing, how we was doing it, when we was doing it, when we was doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I kept it cute and I kept it mute. You understand what I'm saying? That part. So I was never insecure about you, speaking to a woman or having a conversation. She's a human being, right? Or you think that somebody is beautiful. You have eyes. You're gonna look. You have a type. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we doing? I'm not moving the way you moving, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Somebody said, no, we not even gonna give that life. Goodbye. I realize you always put the blame on you, even when the dude is clearly in the wrong. That's what I'm saying. And I was talking about this last night on my live, and I said, you know what? I did nothing, and I'm so proud of myself to be able to sit here and say, yo, I've done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. So I'm able to, I was able to kind of marinate in what had happened. Think about it, take a second. Matter of fact, I took damn near for a week, right? That shirt is not bothering me. I don't know why it's bothering you. um, and I just was like, you know what? God bless you. Because I know I did nothing wrong. So that's all it is. Hold on. Because I'm not, right? So that was pretty much that. But I chose not to take blame for something that I know I did not do. I did not do anything wrong. I was never disrespectful. I was never ignorant. I was never belligerent. I never showed my ass. I've never done none of those things. I've always been, honest and communicated. And I feel that that's not what he wanted. And that's okay. It's okay when a man don't want, you know, a good woman. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's your business. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just glad that I was able to see, okay, you know, this is not for you. You know, you don't need this, you know, because this is not everything that he wants you to do. He does nothing for you. You know, everything that you've given, he's never given nothing back. So, baby girl, you don't need that. You know, you deserve so much more, so much better than that. Of course, you know, I wish him nothing but the best. Of course I do. You know, I'm never going to be like, here, oh, you nasty son of... I'm not doing that. He's handsome. I think he is handsome. I think he has a beautiful smile. And, you know, hopefully he learns from this and he grows from it. Again, like I said a few days ago, I don't see it. But, you know, it's not my story to say yes and it's not my story to say no. You know, I wish this man nothing but the best, you know. So that's really it. You know, it's never no hatred in my body or no type of negativity. No, it's never that. I feel like I'm too humble for that, to sit there and have some type of hateful energy in my bone or in my blood or in my body. Like, you know, God bless you. You know, you're a handsome man, so you know you will find somebody. That's all. Oh my goodness, that goddamn dress, you guys. That goddamn dress. That dress. Ugh. That dress was... I don't even know what the happened. Yo, it's so crazy because I'm telling you, the situation was so crazy because the gentleman I was having a conversation with, I knew him for like 10 to 12 years. So I was sitting there having a... Mind you, the dress that I had on, right? Let me just start there. Let me rewind. I was going out with the girls that night, okay? My son was going to go to Taekwondo. My cousin was going to pick him up because I was going to go out with the girls. Long story short, I had the dress on because I would have never had time to go back home to put the dress on. So I put the dress on because when I step up with the girls, respectfully speaking, I want to step up with the girls and be a woman. I don't want to dress like a mother or a daughter or a sister. I want to, you know, I want to step out like a woman. So I want to feel confident in my dress. I felt very confident in my dress. I went to the place. I was like, yo, where the dude was at. I was like, yo, it was a lot of men in there. I was like, no. So I instantly had a sense of uncomfortability for even walking in because I was like, okay, I don't know how this dress would make him feel if I walk in here and there's mad dudes in here. So I was like, I'm not even going to go inside. So I didn't even go inside yet. I didn't go inside yet, right? So I'm standing there. I was actually on my phone FaceTiming with one of my guy friends. And a dude had drove up and he was like, oh, hey. And at first I didn't know who it was. And I was like, oh, hi, hello. So I had got off FaceTime with the dude I was on the phone with, which was one of my friends, and then I started having a conversation with him. So then me and him I went to the side and was having a conversation. I went inside and then I came back outside because I was like, yo, I'm not comfortable with this dress on. So I went in and then I came back outside. I was like, nah, I'm not even about to sit up here and stay here. So then the gentleman that he had asked, oh, are you dealing with her? He came outside and then him and the dude started having a conversation. Now, of course, I stepped to the side. You know what I'm saying? So then the dude, he left. The one that I knew for 10 to 12 years, he left. And then the gentleman that is there, he was like, he was just staring at me. Then he was like, oh, hey, hi. I was like, you know, hello. Again, just simple hello. And I was like, don't you got to go back in? And he was like, yeah, I do. That's it. That's it. That was it. Then I went back inside. And I think I came back out. And I think me and him was having a conversation again. And then he left. And then I went back inside, right? I was in and out like a few times, to be real with you guys. I was. And then I left. I didn't think anything of anything. I left. And when I left, I called the dude that, you know, I was dealing with for 6 years. And he was like saying like some crazy stuff. And I was like, what the hell? I'm so confused. Like, I don't even understand what the hell just happened. I'm so lost because it wasn't an issue. And before that, I texted him and I said, thank you. When I left out, I had text. I said, because like usually like when I leave out, like I'll be like, you know, thank you. And when he responds, like that's how I know that he's not mad. So when he didn't respond, I was like, okay. Instantly in my mind, I'm like, okay, the dress pissed him off. Or I'm like, it was either the dress pissed him off or me having a conversation with somebody pissed him off. Mind you, I tried to call this man twice that night to have a conversation with him to clarify things up so he didn't think what he thought. Okay? And then on top of that, right, I was trying to go over his house so me and him can have a conversation, or either he come over my house. So again, from what the dude had told me was that the way that he texted was that somebody had came inside and told him, oh, that's her side, NIGGA, and she been hiding him. It was something along the lines of that nature. I don't know if that's verbatim, but it was something along the lines of there. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? I'm so lost, because I'm thinking to myself, I've known this man for like 10 or 12 years, so what the hell are you talking? Like, I'm honest to God, I'm flabbergasted, because I've never had that with him before, and I've never had a problem with this gentleman. It's never been nothing, right? So then, mind you, I wasn't even going to call the dude, and I wasn't going to call him because I'm thinking to myself, yo, this ain't even got nothing to do with him because of whatever somebody else said. So I'm lost. So I went against my better judgment, and I called him. I was like, hey, what happened? I said, because I'm getting, sent crazy text messages, and I'm so confused on what happened. So that's when the dude on the phone asked me, he was like, well, were you dealing with him, and were you messing with him? And at that moment, I'm not going to lie and say no. I'm going to say yes, because I was talking to you and dealing with you. You understand what I'm saying? So he was like, no. He was like, I didn't even go in there. No, he didn't say that. He was like, no, that never happened. So I'm like, wait a damn minute. So it took me, like, honestly, God, it took me like maybe a month to really try to figure out what the hell happened. So from what I got, then hold on, right? And then I had a blue dress on this time. I went inside there, right? And then that's when he asked the dude, oh, are you dealing with her? And because the gentleman tapped me on my leg, just in a gesture of hello, right? So I'm like, ooh, that's it, right? Again, hello, that's it. So he goes to where he's standing, and then the dude was like, oh, you dealing with her too? And I was like, at first, I didn't know if that's what I heard, and I didn't want to assume. So I'm like, wait a minute, did he just say that, or am I bugging? So mind you, my son was there when he asked, and he didn't say, are you dealing with her? He said, are you fucking her? That's what he said to him, with my son sitting right there. And at first, I was like, wait, did I hear this man say this? Am I sitting here? I said, or am I tripping? I said, I know I'm not bugging. So I left out, because I'm like, yo, I'm not about to do this. Like, I'm gonna step in like a lady and I'm gonna leave like a lady. So I stepped out. I said, no, what did he say? I said, did he say a curse word? No, I said yes. And that's when I put one and one together. I walked back inside. Yes, the fuck I did, with the dress on and all. I said to him, yo, what's wrong with you? Oh, get out of here. I said, can I have a conversation with you outside? Oh, get out of here. But he didn't say that. He said something else. I left. Walked in like a lady, left out like a lady. Now, mind you, y'all heard me say I tried to have a conversation with him in private, not in front of all of those people. Okay? I left out. Wasn't going to go back in. Wasn't going to bother him, talk to him, nothing. Absolutely nothing, right? I'm walking to my house. I get a phone call. It's him. I just have my earphones in my ear. You know how when Siri is on, it'll be like, oh, call, incoming call from 203, yada, 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 right? Or 475, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, hello? And it's him. So he was like, oh, how do you know him? Mind you, I'm trying to tell this man how I know him. He's trying to tell me, oh, that's not what you said. You said that he was trying to kick it. I said, no, I didn't. And I always say my infamous, hold on. I always say, hold on. Like, I don't know. I was like, hold on. Mind you, in the sense of you so riled up that what somebody done told you, you not even willing to listen to what I got to say. So then the dude, I don't know if he was there. I don't know if he called him. I don't know how, but I heard the gentleman say, oh, whatever y'all got going on, don't put me in that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a damn minute. Why are you getting mad at me for something somebody said when I don't even know what the hell even happened? And again, I'm going back to, I've never had an issue with this man. I've never had a problem with this man. There's never been nothing but respect on both ends. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck is even going on? Like, I'm lost. Because again, you making me have issues with men I've never had a problem with, don't know, And there's always been respect. So the way you come in right now, whoever told you something, they must have sold your ass some good. Okay, they must have said that I was dealing with this man, or I was somebody told him something, but it pissed him off. My whole thing is this: you never asked me, you never pulled me to the side and had a conversation with me. You never said, yo, this is what I heard, is it true? You could have texted me, you could have called me, you could have FaceTimed me, you could have done anything. But you chose to sit there and run with what somebody told you. As a man, you should have came to me the same way as a woman I came to you. The same common courtesy and same dignity that I gave you in grace and communication and conversation that I gave you when I heard something, you did not return it. I did not receive it, and that is not fair. And even after, let me be very clear with y'all. Even after, I'm gonna be all the way honest, I still try to have a conversation with him to be like, yo, what the fuck happened? Like, what the hell happened? Because I genuinely really wanted to know, yo, what happened? I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I really wanted to know what was said and who said it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really wanted to know. I genuinely wanted to know, because I wanted to be like, yo, why would you sit there and lie? Like, why would you sit there and lie to somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? Because you see me having a conversation with somebody, so you instantly go to she's dealing with him. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. But that was that, and this is this. That's it. I was like, when I tell you, and then I had that same situation, because he had questioned me with my best friend. I looked this man in the face, and he was like, oh, are you a fan? I said, looked him straight in his face. No. Never kissed him, never slept with him, never been intimate with him, oral, nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing with the sun bothering my eyes. Absolutely nothing. I'm like, no, like, it's never been nothing. Nothing at all. Never. I had to put my shades on. That thing is like nice, like clockwork. And then for you to pull somebody else in and be like, oh, are you dealing with her? I don't know this man. Don't do that, because I don't know him. That's crazy. As a man, I'm telling you, nobody told that dude that. He made that up because that's what he thought. But my thing, even if you thought something, right? Even if you thought something so crazy like that, why not ask me? Why not ask me that? Why not ask me? Why not? But then I thought about it too. And I'm like, well, wait a damn minute. I don't know nobody that's in here. So how's somebody gonna tell you something when I don't know none of these men that's in here? You know these people. I think it's a little weird that you gonna say somebody came in here and told me something. How? If somebody in my conversation, right? Or if somebody is in what I'm doing, right? That they, first of all, nobody even knew that I was dealing with you. So how strategically somebody just walks up to you and tell you something? From my knowledge, right? From my knowledge, nobody knew I was dealing with you because you asked me not to say nothing. Cool. So how somebody gonna walk up to you and say something when nobody knew I was dealing with you? Unless you started telling people that. Don't put that on me. The thing is, you are a baddie. Oh, thank you, babes. He didn't feel like he was worthy. So he was threatened by every dude and just knew he was talking to somebody else. But that's my thing, though. I was only talking to him. That man had my energy. He had my time. He had my aura. He had my... I was on him. I didn't want nobody else. I didn't. Like, I genuinely did not want to be with nobody else because I knew what I wanted with him. I wanted the family. I wanted the stability. I wanted the foundation. I wanted the legacy. Like, I wanted these things with him. And that's why I don't understand. Why would you even feel threatened by another man when you know I don't want another man? I've always only wanted you. 6 years. Another man ain't never had none of the things you have with me. You crazy? So it's in a minute of why be threatened when I think he's handsome. Like, I really believe this man is. He has a beautiful smile for a man, right? I think this man is just so handsome to me. So my thing is, now that you said that, right? Now the hamster is starting to run. Cause now I'm starting to think, well, damn, somebody probably didn't even go in there. He probably just had that thought by himself. He probably just had a thought to himself, and instead of coming to me as a man, he just was like, all right, well, since you're having a conversation with him, I'm gonna try to embarrass you. But it didn't work. And that man told you no, that he never dealt with me. And on top of that, the gentleman that you asked was he dealing with me told you who hurt? No. So every man that you kept trying to say I was doing something with, every man in your face told you no. What do you say after that? You should feel really small after that. I'm trying to make me out to be something that I'm not. Sorry, sweetheart. Backfired on your ass, okay? Because you actually had intimacy with somebody that you said was in town, okay? She called you and was like, hey, I'm in town, can I come through? But you the same man that told me you don't have women over your house, though. You lied, okay? Told you that to your face. You lied, right? You said that, the young lady came through. They were having a conversation, and then they had intimacy. I'm like, So, you get mad because I had a conversation, but you had intimacy with somebody. Thank you. I want you to have a balance. There's no way you're going to get mad at a conversation, but you expect me not to be mad because you had intimacy with a woman. And let me tell you, let me be very clear. This has nothing to do with the woman. This has something to do with you as a man not being able to control yourself physically, mentally, or emotionally. You're a grown-ass man. Why can't you control yourself to where you can have a conversation with this beautiful young lady, right? You said that it was closure sex. And now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, you said that you and her were closure sex, but you couldn't give me a closure conversation because you knew your ass was wrong. Hands down. That's it. You were wrong. You were wrong. It's okay. Own it, babes. It's okay. Usually, the person who's always accusing somebody of cheating is the one cheating. And they usually don't want anyone to know about y'all. You was probably cheating. And the crazy thing was, I saw him saying to myself, like, you strategically all of a sudden want to ask this man on the side of me. Well, are you effing her? He was like, who her? No. Now all of a sudden you want to put people in our business though. But you asked me, hey, I want to keep this private, because with the last situation you said that the dudes were making a woman feel uncomfortable. I'm starting to believe you made her feel uncomfortable. And she's seen it. Okay? Because if you did that to me, God only knows what you did to her. Right? That part. Don't fight. Fight is the fighting. Ain't nobody worry about that man. I see, if I was that asshole, I would tell people where you work at and where you live and what your name is, but I don't do stuff like that. And the reason why I don't do stuff like that is because I don't want somebody to do that to me one day. So I learned to be able to speak on my situation, but never tell them who you are. Because you're going to get yours back. You are. And God bless you with your life. But I guarantee you, whoever you get with next, I guarantee you she's not going to be as calm and polite as me. Guarantee it. Because usually 9 times out of 10 when a man has a good woman, the next woman that he gets with is batch crazy. Okay, usually a woman that has a good man, the next man don't be nothing like that. God gonna have it to where you gonna have to sit still for quite some time until you can find the right woman. Because you gonna have to get back everything you've done to a woman. Hello? Just like how a woman has to get everything back that she does to a man. Hello? It goes both ways, sweetheart. You got to get back what you give. Okay? Simple as that. So good luck. Good luck. out the pop of the gum is too annoying for you guys. And it's funny because he will always say like these months of breaks and things like that, and then try to come back. And I never liked the way he will always text me. He will always say, oh, that over there at your house, or you with your man. Well, my little man is sleeping, and I'm 9 times out of 10, he would FaceTime me. 9 times out of 10, honest to God, I was usually about to get in the shower. It is the weirdest thing ever. Like, my male friends always have this way of texting me when I'm about to get in the shower. Of course, I wouldn't answer. I would text them and say, hey, I'm getting. The phone keeps saying that it's hot. Right. Okay, wait. I'm trying to see. It says, think about it, what dude is gonna say. I let a girl come over and we had closure. Rex. He 100% wanted you to feel jealous because he's jealous. But that was even like way before that had even happened. That was like months before that had happened. Months before. And I never forget it. Because we had just came from the compound. It was me. It was a bunch of my cousins and stuff like that. I had dropped my cousins off. And he called me. My mom's not too fond of him. I tell my mom and my dad stuff. Right? Hold on, I gotta spit this game. I can't talk to people with my mom. Sorry, I was hungry. But when he told me, because I asked him, because my mother, that day, my mother was like, man, I want you to ask him, are you the only person that he is dealing with? She said, I really want you to ask him. I said, okay. So I went home. I can't remember if he FaceTimed me or if I FaceTimed him, but I was in a towel. I never forget I was in a towel. And I had him on my, like where my towels are and like things of that nature. And I was like, hey, let me ask you a question. Am I the only person that you're dealing with? He was like, you want me to be honest? I was like, yeah. He was like, no. And it was like, to me, it was a slap in the face, because I knew that, this was the only man that I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know I don't rock like that. To each his own, but I personally, I don't rock like that. And he was like, my ex was in town. She asked me if she come over, and I told her yeah, and we had a conversation, and then we ended up being intimate. And I was like, oh. I was like, why didn't you say something to me when I would ask you that, all the time? Because I would always ask him, like, hey, are you dealing with anybody else? Because, I don't want no parts or nothing like that. And I don't want any parts of that craziness. I don't. And I never forget, he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, I'm going to let you go. Right? And I hung up, and I took a shower, went to bed, and that was that. And I think he hit me up like a few months after that. And then I started to, I'm going to be real, I started to throw it in his face a lot. And then he was like, you're not my girl. He was like, we're not together. So I'm like, okay, cool. So, I left him alone again a few months. He texted me again, months later again. And that's when he was like, oh, yeah, over there. And I was like, nope. Again, because if I was dealing with somebody, I would have told him, like, hey, somebody is over here, and I'm, deciding to be with them. But, and I'm just glad that I never gave myself to him in that manner, because I don't want to be played in that manner. And I left him alone for quite some time, and then like he would always come back like months or gaps, months again, and things of that nature. So that's that. That's pretty much that. But it didn't make me feel jealous that he did that, because I knew that I wasn't gonna give myself up to you. So sorry, I had a burp. And that's pretty much that, though. I was never jealous of it, because I wasn't dealing with you in no adult manner. So, but I did I did say to him, And another thing, and again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say this, and I'm going to be very honest when I say this. My body will not respond to a man that has been intimate with a woman. Because I'm not being disrespectful. I look at it as I'm not special. Because if I was special, you wouldn't be being intimate with other women. So the same things that I'm doing with you, someone knows this. So it's not special. So my body would not respond to and for him. It would not, because you were out here doing things. So my body would not respond to you and or for you. And I told him, I said, it's crazy because at one point in time, my body only responded to you and for you. But now it's like, no. This is classic narcissism in a nature. I say all that you don't. It makes sense. Of course it makes sense, but I'm just thankful that I'm not dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? This is where everything stems from. He wanted you in that way. That's why he brought up the ex. That's cool. That's why he was always accusing. That's why he said you're not my. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Listen. It was funny because I remember one day I was sitting on my son's bins because I was folding. I was like separating his clothes, and I caught him because I literally wanted to know, like what we were. I was like, hey, what are we? And then it was just a whole bunch of mess. I was like, oh Lord, I can't. Hi, my love. Like, comment, subscribe to her channel. She's worth it every time. Share her channel. Follow her channel. That part, babe. Enjoy the live stream and spread the word about the channel for subscription purposes only. Yeah. I love you. I freaking adore you. I love you. But I can see if I didn't thank you for the love and thank you for the shout out. I genuinely appreciate it. My link is supposed to hit, it's the verb. Like my love, like and subscribe to my channel. Right? So I don't want to speak on this because I feel like I've been speaking about this long enough and all the time on her, and I don't want to do that. But it goes back to me saying your original statement, which was you look very adorable today, love bird. Oh, thank you. I wish him nothing but the best, right? And nothing but blessings in anything he touches or conquers or wants for his life, of course. Tap that like button, period. Appreciate it. Thank you. Right. And I just wish him the best, and I have to say, I love that I'm not one of those women that, this is where I say I love me, because I don't bother anybody. I don't text anybody. I don't call anybody. I'm not stopping by nobody's house. I'm not going by nobody's job. I'm not doing none of those things. Like, I am choosing to leave you alone. That's it. Like, I tell somebody, if you tell me to leave you alone, or if you show me you want me to leave you alone, oh, you got it. You got it. You got it all the way. Don't mind me. Continue love. No, you're fine. So I think I'm gonna, probably the very few women that's not gonna bother you or text you or call you or stop by your job or stop by your house. I'm not doing none of that. You made the scene, you made your bed, now you gotta lay in it. I'm pretty sure he probably, well, I don't know. So let me not say that because I don't want to assume, but I'm pretty sure he probably is. I would think that he is, probably talking to other women or dealing with other women. And again, I don't know because I can't assume, but just from that alone, the strength of that, it would make me think that he is, and that's cool because that's not my business. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, just respectfully, don't come back months later trying to say, hey, how are you? I'm blessed. Now you stay blessed and leave me alone. You know what I mean? He legit thought every dude was getting it but him, hence why he said you effing her. I thought that was crazy though. Because I don't think no woman would have waited for a man for 6 years. One in stability, one in communication, one in a family, one in a foundation, one in a legacy. Like, I wanted these things with you, for you, and only with you. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I never dealt with nobody. I never spoke to nobody. I wasn't out here doing none of that crazy, that crazy stuff. That's the crazy part. And I think if you want me to be honest, I think this man knew. Like in his heart of hearts, I think he knew that I wasn't that type of girl. I what I think is that he probably was dealing with somebody and he wanted to be serious with her. So he probably wanted me to just like leave him alone. So he decided, okay, well, let me cause a scene so I can get her off my back, right? So you got it, and I'm gonna be very honest. Even if he is dealing with somebody or talking to somebody, I hope it works out for him, and I hope it works out for her. I hope that they have what I wanted with him. I hope that he takes her on dates. I hope he takes her, takes her hand and goes for walks with her. I hope that he has a family with her. Like I hope that he has these things that I wanted with him. I really do. Like I hope that he finds a woman that he wants to be with. I do. Like I really want this man to be happy and be humble in his life. Of course, I'm always gonna want him to be happy, and have what he wanted in a woman. That's all it is. I'm hot. Hold on, y'all. I got real. And hopefully when he finds her, he takes her on dates, that he cooks for her, or if she has a child, I hope that he includes a child in it. I really hope that he can learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make an assumption. And if you got a problem with somebody, you talk to them about it. That's all. It's all that it is. It is just a topic of conversation, my love. That's it. Do I think he's gonna try to contact me again? I promise you, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, though. I wouldn't. And it's crazy because each time that I wanted to have a conversation with him, he never wanted to have the conversation because he knew he was wrong. He knew he was wrong, and that is cool. And it's crazy because I even had to apologize to the dude that he made the assumption about. I was like, yo, I am so sorry that you even got put in this. And I was like, I hope me and you still cool, because I was like, we've never had no problems, we've never had no issues. So why I gotta sit up here and you gotta feel this way towards me when his assumptions is his assumptions? Like, don't put that on me. I still wanna be, cordial with you. That's all. I'm tired. It's the same one that made you cut it off. Well, he tried to have me cut it off with my best friend, but I didn't. That is the same gentleman. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Remember I told y'all, yesterday my best friend was in and out, in and out, in and out. And I'm like, thank God that I didn't, because look if I would have lost my best friend. Like, it would have made no sense because you ain't there. So, no, that's why I be telling people, like, you got to be careful with that, because if you sit up here and if you think about it, right? Like somebody has said on here yesterday, it's not worth it. Like, losing your best friend is just not worth. Listen, for my relationship, I'm telling you now, I'm not cutting my best friend off. So whoever out there and you think about dating, that's cool. But my best friend is gonna stay in my life. So it's either you accept him or you just don't. It's simple as that. I don't care. That's the same one. And I was just like, my best friend was in and out, 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 because he was tired of dealing with that. And I don't blame him. Sorry, y'all. I'm tired. I just got real tired all of a sudden. I just got real tired. Y'all can probably see that my eyes is closed too. I'm tired. Now I'm gonna get off here because I'm gonna go inside to class because I gotta go to CVS. I'll show y'all me at CVS. Thank you for joining in my live. Thank you for having a conversation with me. And thanks for even, staying here with me this long. I love you guys. Stay humble, stay blessed, stay true. I'm about to get a little nap in. About 12 minutes of a nap. Good night, you guys. I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Good night. Good night. I said good night because I'm tired. Have a good day, you guys. Stay blessed, stay humble, stay safe. Stay safe. What the hell is wrong with me, you guys? I'm going to get off of here. Bye. I love you.